Hey everyone, it's Daniel Brother Barbaris. I hope you all had a good weekend. So, we're getting to our fourth video. Um, Rocky Ryder on the Reddit forums had asked if I would go over some of this software here. Now, we had already had a few of these ready for our deployment when I set up the video with you earlier. So, if we look at our MDT, we had all the software folders that we had created together. And so he said Office 365, which we'll go over, 7-Zip, Acrobat Reader, Google Chrome. The latest version of the runtimes, those were in video 2. And then he asked me to look at these Exclaimer Cloud Signature Update Agent, which I did find, the Global Protect VPN, and then Revit, AutoCAD, and Sketchup. So I decided to get the newest versions that I could find of that. So I had AutoCAD 2023, Revit 2023, and SketchUp Pro 2021. He said some other Autodesk related add-ins. Once I show you how to do these, you'll probably be able to do that. And he said some Open Sans fonts. Now, I did find a script that I tested with some fonts. And what you do is, you can see this script here, put the fonts in the same folder, open type fonts, OTFs, TTFs, and place them in here. And then when we run this, it will install those fonts to the system. Okay. So I hope you could get a screenshot of that. We'll start off by getting our software. So I'm going to guide you through that first. Okay. We have our deployment lab all set up, ready to go. You guys have already captured your images. Last video, we imported our operating systems into our folders that we captured on the 7th. And we're ready to go. So the first one, of course, we're going to get is 7-Zip. So I'm going to go through these one by one. If you already have them, that's fine. So we're going to go here. We'll say 7dip.org/download. Get the 64-bit version. Okay. And our install command is going to be here with a /s, and I'll show you how we're going to set all these up. Now I collect the information that I'm going to be placing into the system, and I put that in a nice format. So you'll want to do this just in case, right? So name of how it's going to display, where you downloaded it, the short name, we're going to just call this 7-Zip, right? Okay. The manufacturer, if you go down to the bottom of the site, you'll see Igor Pavlov is the manufacturer. What version we're installing, 2022 or 22.00. Language for me is ENUS, and I always put the quiet install command that I can find online in each of those, okay? So we've got our 7-Zip. Let's go to the next one. Adobe Acrobat Reader, DC. So I placed them in the correct folders because I know that I'm going to be naming the folders a certain way. And I like to extract, for my SCCM implementation, I like to extract the icons as well. Okay, so we're going to go here to get.adobe.com/reader/enterprise/. Okay, and you're going to select your operating system. You can select Windows 11, go down to your language, and then the version. Okay, DC, and just click download Acrobat Reader. And it's going to download a file called Acro Reader DC, and then the version _en _us.exe. And our solid install command is going to be /all/rs/msi eula_accept equals yes. And that's how we'll be importing that. Okay. So download that file there. Let's go back to applications. BG info. I think I showed you where we got this was already in a sysinternals site, which was here. So I'm not going to go over that one again, but I have the way I've laid my BG info out. If you want to use BG info, that's up to you. I have my own setup for that. Okay. Then we'll go to back to applications. Sorry about that. I have evaluate Stig, which you'll have to get if you have access with your CAT card to install that. Okay. So I won't go over that one, but I'll go over Google Chrome. So we'll get Chrome here. And what we'll do is we're going to get the Chrome for Enterprise. Okay. We'll go down here. Now, we had already downloaded the bundle so that we could get the policy definitions. But if you want, just click on MSI, 64-bit, download. And for MSIs, it's fairly easy, right? msiexec.exe/i, and then Google Chrome standalone 64 MSI/QN/quiet/no restart. Now, there is a thing with Chrome that I've noticed, and it's that when you install it, it wants to, any new user that it creates, it wants to put an icon on the desktop. And there is this master_preferences file. And what you can do is you can copy mine. Okay. You can see I place this in the same folder. Do not create any shortcuts, :true. Taskbar shortcut, do not create, and desktop shortcut, do not create. Create all shortcuts false. Okay. Copy this file. Okay. As you can see on the desktop there. And what we're going to do in our installation is first we're going to install Chrome. Okay. And then we're going to look if this folder exists, if we're installing the 64-bit version, or if this version exists, 32-bit version, that's up to you. I just created it just in case somebody put the 32-bit version. Copy the master preferences file that we just created into the application directory where Google is, /yes for overwrite. And then at the end, we're going to delete the desktop shortcut for Google Chrome. So Google Chrome.link/q. Okay, so create this file as your install.bat. Of course, you remember we're going to use the hide bat VBS, which was a single line, and that will install that with no window. Okay, so there's Google Chrome 365. I showed you how to download this earlier, and what we're going to do is in our installation, we're going to put, this is of course telling the batch file that the setup exes is in the same folder. So that's the %~dp0 setup.exe/configure, also %~dp0 configuration office 365.xml. And that will silently install that as well, because when we opened up our configuration in the original video, remember I said display level none and accept the end user license agreement. And we'll use our hide bat, of course, to run that without a command window in the background. All right. NetBanner, you guys, if you have access to that, you can do the same thing. You can install that. And all I've done here is I've used the /i for NetBanner /qb/passive. Now, I'm going to get rid of this passive, and I'm going to put quiet, and I'm going to put n, so that I have no interaction and no window up. Okay, and then I'm going to import my registry keys that I've edited, just so that it will be set classification for unclassified. Okay, CPCon is 5, FPCon is 1, and InfoCon is 3, and that will set it to the lowest version. So it'll be green banner, it'll say unclassified. On the left side, it'll say Epicon 5 or CPCon 5. Epicon Alpha, I believe, is on the right side. Okay, so that's how that works. If you guys have used that before, and that is, you can get that at software.forge.mil if you have a CAT card /SF/go/rel 3968, which is the release number. Okay. Applications, Silverlight. Okay. So some of these are older programs, but I know that there are some sites that require these. Okay, so catalog.update.microsoft.com/search aspects question Q equals Silverlight, and all we're going to do is we're going to go there and we're going to find the newest version. Okay, last updated. You can see right here. Okay, so just grab the first one there. Okay, that's all you have to do. Grab that, and we're going to install it like this: Silverlight _64 exe/q/no restart. Okay, that's right here. It's a self-extracting cabinet file. Real easy to do. All right, close that one. Microsoft Teams. Now, if you're doing secure areas like I am, what you're going to do is you're going to go here to docs.microsoft.com/en-us/Microsoft Teams/MSI-deployment. Okay. And what you're going to do, go down here where it says US Government DoD and click on 64-bit. Now for commercial, you can do the same thing. 64-bit. Okay. So we've got our Teams _Windows _x64 MSI, and this is how you're going to install it. Okay. And at the end, all users equals 1. Now, I don't know if you guys have access or if you've used Configuration Manager in the past, but there's a program that comes with it called Orca, and you can open up your MSI files, and if you click on Property, you can see that with Teams, all users is set to 0 by default, right? So it's actually all user, not all users. I just wanted to show you that. So I'm going to say all user 1, okay? Not all users, okay? And so that's how you can get those properties from your MSI, okay? There we go. Just like that. So it's all user equals 1, all right? Now we'll go back over here, Applications, Mozilla Firefox, okay? Notes, I extract the icons like I showed you there, okay? And this one is also for enterprise. So copy mozilla.org/en US Firefox Enterprise # or hash download. And then what you can do is you can say, hey, I want the MSI installer, and it's 64-bit, save, okay? And we've got the newest one, 102.0.1. And the way you'll install that, remember, I told you about Orca just a few moments ago. So if I open up Orca and I grab that Firefox MSI, okay, go to Properties, you can see all users is already set, so we don't have to worry about that. Desktop shortcut is true. I'm going to put that to false. Start menu shortcut, true. That's fine. Okay, taskbar shortcut is false, is what we want. Okay, and I show you here how I'm setting that, right? /qn/quiet, no restart. Desktop shortcut equals false. Install maintenance service equals false, and I don't want that either. So I say install _maintenance _service equals false, and that's how you set those up. Okay, so there's our Mozilla Firefox. All right, Notepad++, which we used in the beginning, right? We want to install this on our machines, don't we? So that's the icon that I extracted. But here's where we grab this. So you're going to go to notepad-plus-plus.org. Oh, look, Unhappy Users Edition. There's a new version, and it must have come out today because I had 8.4.2. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to download this newest one, save as, go into my prereqs folder, and under my deployment share, applications, Notepad++. Here we go. Now 8.4.3, save. I'm going to change this to 8.4.3 in my nice folder. I just copied the file name of the new one. I'm going to save that. And then I'm going to go in here. I'm going to delete this old version because now we've got our unhappy users edition. That's good. Okay. And this is easy to install. /S is all you need for silent install. Okay. Real simple. Don Ho's a good man for making it real simple for us, right? Okay, Java. And we're going to get the newest version, which I believe is 8.333, 8.333. So we'll go here to java.com/download/ie_manual.jsp. And you'll see 8 update 333, download Java. It's going to give us our executable, which will be 64-bit. And the way we install that is fairly simple. JRE 8U333. Okay, install silent equals enabled. Enable. Auto update disable. EULA disable. Reboot equals disable. And web analytics disable. That's how I set it, but you guys can set it how you would like to do. That's how I'm going to do it. And the actual version is 8.0333.2. When I install it, I grab the version. And the nice part about your MSIs is it'll tell you what the exact version is too, and I'll show that here in a moment if I didn't show you already. So we'll go back here, applications. That was Java. Now we go to registry settings. Now this is just my own things. I like to set certain registry settings: Windows 10, Windows 11, Windows Server. And when I do this, it's to edit the registry for all users. And then this is what my file looks like. So reg import HKey local machine, HKey current, or HKey for root, the system, and then current user. And then what I do is to load the hives of all of the other users that are on the system, and of course the default user, I load that so that I can change it for the whole system. Then I reset the attribute to hidden there. I have a lock screen that I like to use, and I personalize that for my lock screen. Okay, real simple. Now anything that goes into those, so HKey classes root, anything that goes into root goes in here. Anything that goes into the current user goes here. Anything that goes into the local machine goes here. And then things that are going to go into the all users, right? Which I'm loading a hive. I'm loading that hive into temp under HKey local machine, and then loading that. Okay, and then of course you unload the hive afterwards. So I'm doing that for all three of these. I've got Windows 10, Windows 11, and Windows Server that I do that for. Give me one moment, just checking. Okay, sorry, a friend of mine texting me. Okay, Scap compliance checker. Okay, so notes. You can get this because it's on the public CyberMail. All right, so public.cyber.mail/stigs/scap/. Okay, give it a moment. There we go, and you can go down here to the bottom portion and look for SCC Windows and download that. Okay, it's going to give you this SEC Windows, and the installer to do silent is /sp dash /very silent /no restart. Okay, and our newest version is 5.5, so I've got that there. Okay, real simple. Let's go back here to, and I also have what's called Stig Workstation, and this is just Stigs that I've extracted. They're my own. It's my own thing to Stig a Windows 10 or a Windows 11 machine to 100%. It's just it's not anything that you'll have to worry about right now. Microsoft Report Viewer Runtime. So there are actually three things in this. The SQL Sys CLR types, 64 and 32-bit, and then the report viewer. So, and I extracted the icon from that. So if we go here to the Microsoft Report Viewer, and that should, I think that's, okay, yes, /details.aspx ID 35747. Okay, you can grab this. And then for the CLR types, you want to install the CLR types first. Okay, so if I click here, download the feature pack, download, okay, it's going to download the entire feature pack, and that will have everything that I need. Okay, so, and then once you have those, you're going to install them first, and then you're going to install your report viewer. Okay, and I'll show you what that batch file looks like right here. So MSI exec /I, the 32-bit ones first, 64-bit ones second, and the report viewer last. And of course, like I said, we're going to run that from the hidebat VBS, which is going to make it silent and not open up a window. Okay, let's go back here, applications, Stig Viewer. This is another one you can get from the public, I believe. So I extracted the icon, but let's look here. So here we go, public.cyber.mil /stigs /srg-stig-tools /. Okay, give that a moment. And if you go down here, you can see Stig Viewer 216. We're going to download that zip file. And inside, we're going to find this Stig Viewer MSI, and that's how we're going to install it. Okay, and the newest version is 2.16, which is there from March of 2022. We're good there. Okay, let's go back to applications. Sysinternal Suite. I like to put this on some of my workstations. Okay, so all I'm doing is getting the sysinternals and extracting to a sysinternals folder, and then I'm copying those to the system32 directory of the machine, because then it's in my path and I can use them at any time. So docs.microsoft.com /en-us/sysinternals /. You can click on downloads here and you'll see sysinternal suite. Click on that, save, and then we can install it with the silent, and I'll show you this. Very, very simple. I can get rid of this echo off because I'm using that hidebat VBS. Okay, X copy, and then of course percentage %dp0, the sysinternals folder, /**. So I'm copying all files into the C Windows System 32 directory and override if they exist. That's all it's doing. Real simple there. Okay. Let's go here to Visual Studio Code. A lot of people like to use that instead of Notepad++, and that's fine. So it's just code.visualstudio.com. Download. You'll get this VS Code user setup -x64 file with the version number, which is 1.68.1 /sp- /very silent /no restart. Simple, One line install. Very, very easy to use. Very, very easy to install. Okay. WebEx. This is for meetings, just like Teams is. Okay. And this one, I have. What I do is I delete the desktop shortcut because it likes to put one, even if you have installed it with no, there's a slash that says no desktop icon, but it still does it. So I remove that. But here's what our MSI, just like this. It's /qn/quiet/no restart auto start underscore with underscore Windows equals false. Accept the end user license agreement equals true. All users equals 1. Okay, so we've got that. So where we download that, go to webex.com/downloads.html, get the 64-bit version, and that newest version is 42.6.0. 22645. It's made by Cisco Systems, so we're good there. And I think we're almost there. Oh, my Windows branding. So you guys might have asked, oh well, somebody did ask about the Secure Host Baseline branding, right? So there's lock screen, there's the OEM logo, there's the user account pictures, and the wallpaper, right? So what I've done, and you can do this for your own business, or you can do it for Secure Host Baseline, whatever you want. So I have xcopy OEM logo .bitmap to the System32 directory, and then I have import the information for that, which looks like this. Okay, so that's help customize equals 0. The OEM logo bitmap here. Manufacturer, I just call it DoD Secure Host Baseline. It's DISA.mil. The model is 10.nippernet. And then this is helpline, right? And you can, of course, change all this to your business name with a logo. And the OEM logo, I always make it 100 by 100 pixels. Some people say 120 by 120, but I've noticed that in certain versions of Windows it cuts it off. So 100 by 100 always works. It's a great one. And then the user account pictures, and I'm going to show you how we do that. Okay, so what I've done is in my Windows branding, sorry about that, go back to DoD branding, and so I have UAP. Okay, and you can see I have another, and all this says is use default tile and sets it to 1. Okay, it's a D word to 1. Okay, and why is that? Because when I put user.bitmap, it'll use that, or user.ping, it'll use that as the default. And in Windows 10, it uses the ping file. Okay, and it will actually, this white in the background will go away. So I'll show you this. The guest.bitmap is 600 by 600 pixels. The guest.ping is 448 by 448 pixels. Okay, so user.bitmap 600 by 600, user.ping 448 by 448, and then you're going to make a 32 by 32, so it's called user-32.ping, a 40 by 40, user-40 ping, a 48 by 48, user-48, and then a 192 by 192 ping file. Okay, and when you have those, then you're going to copy them. I'll show you where they're copied. They're copied to the C program data /Microsoft/user account pictures. Okay, and you're going to overwrite the original one, which just look like a Windows, like a head with shoulders, right? And then that use default tile, and you're good there. Now, I don't like to use the Secure Host Baseline wallpaper or lock screen, but you can do that if you'd like. Some people do, right? So in the wallpaper folder, you can see I have the Secure Host Baseline, uh, you know, wallpaper, Information Systems Agency wallpaper. But of course, you saw the one that I like to use, right? And then the lock screen, same thing. It's just the DoD, the DoD Secure Host Baseline wallpaper, and I like to use my own, but do whatever you like. And then Start Menu Customization. So for Windows 10, it's fairly easy to do, right? And it's the same thing for Windows 11. What you can do is you can open up a terminal, and you can say Export Start Layout Path, and wherever you want it to be. So I'm going to say dot slash, we'll call this desktop, we'll say layout.xml. Okay. And if you do that, you'll get a layout XML file. Now this is, my machine's Windows 11, so it's going to do a weird layout like this. But for Windows 11, you're not going to do that. But for Windows 10, you will. Okay. And all you're going to do for the Windows 10 layout, once you have that layout that you like, you set it up the way you like it, there's only one thing you have to change. And all that is where it says default layout override, you're going to add this line, layout customization restriction type equals only specified groups. And you'll just add that line, and then whatever you set as your default, it will override. So all you have to do is copy this file, the layout modifications file, and you're going to override it. I override it in two locations. I override it in the C users default, app data, local, Microsoft, Windows, shell folder. So I put that same layout modification. Okay. I overwrite it there. Okay. And then, if not exist, this one, the administrator's one, I also override that one. Okay. And then your start menu will be customized the way you like it. With Windows 11, there is a trick. You don't even have to do any of that. All you have to do is there's a start.bin file. So you see how my start menu, hold on, sorry about that. You see how my start menu is laid out like this. And if I want to save that, all I have to do is copy this bin file, and I'll show you where that's at. It is in the C users, default app data, local packages, Microsoft, .windows, sorry about that, .start menu, experience host, underscore, and then you'll see W5 and 1, 2, TX. You can see that. Local state. Okay. So your start.bin that you adjust in your user account. Okay. Because this is the default. All right. But if we go like this, and I change this default to mine, which I believe is Bara, just like that, press enter, there's my start.bin. All I have to do is copy that to a file, to a folder, and then copy it, override the default one, and then every user that has this software installed and the layout, it will set just like this one. Okay. Now the recommended, of course, will go away, but that's what we want. That start.bin file. Okay. Real simple. They made it much better for OEMs that way. Okay. So that's pretty much it for Windows branding. Now I'm going to close this. Okay. So now we'll go and we're going to start adding our software in. Okay. And here we go. This is going to be a very long video, and I hope you're following along. It's fine. Okay, so I'm going to do this one by one. Okay, so I'm going to copy that 7-zip because we'll delete these after we're done with them, right? So I'm going to go New application. Application with source files. Next. Okay. I'm going to open this up because remember, I copied into my notes all the information I would need. Okay. So I'm going to go here. Publisher. Igor Pavlov. Okay. Application name. 7-zip 22.00 x64. Version 22.00. Language en-us. Source directory. 7-zip. I'm going to close this so that it'll be able to have that. My short name is just 7-zip. Okay. Command line. What did we have? Just like that. 7Z2200-x64-exe. Just like that. And I didn't need to close it because I'm not cutting and pasting. I'm copying. So I can delete that folder now. And then I'm going to go properties. And I'm just going to delete some of this extra. And I'm going to say 7. I like everything to look nice. So my short name 7-zip. Boom. There's 7-zip. That's all we had to do for that. Okay. So now we'll go to Adobe Reader. Copy. Paste. Notes. Okay. Just like this. And I'm going to say new application with source files. Next. Publisher. Who's the publisher? Manufacturer. Adobe Systems Incorporated. Okay. Application name. Adobe Acrobat Reader DC. Version 22.001-20142. en-us. Now I can copy and paste all that if I wanted to, but go down here, go to the bottom folder. Next, my short name is Adobe Reader DC. Command line. Remember, I copied it into there. Just like that. Next, next. Go back over here, properties. Go to the front. And I'm just going to call that Adobe Acrobat Reader DC. I want my short name to be the same as my source directory. Click apply, and that's that. Okay, you can delete these as we go along, like I said. Okay, so sorry about that. Let me I'm going to turn off my phone connecting to the computer for right now. There we go. Okay. Close. Our next one is BG Info. Okay. And I actually have two folders that I'm going to copy here. Okay. So I'll copy these. Just like that. And the first one is going to be for my servers. So I'm going to say new application, application with source files. I'm going to look in here. Notes. Publisher. Mark Rusinovich from SysInternal Suite, right? And BG Info, wallpaper text configuration, x64 for servers, version 4.28, en-us, source directory, servers. I'm going to look in here. I'm going to click on BG Info serve, like that. Okay. This one is just going to say BG Info serve, like that. Okay. That's how I'm going to do my server one. Okay. The workstation is going to be WS, right? So next, command line. What do we have for our command line? Of course, we're going to have our hide bat, right? So remember how I told you we're going to do that. It's going to be wscript.exe. hide bat VBS /B/no logo. Just like that. Boom. Okay. And there's our first one. We'll just do this. And I'm going to go back to servers, BG info serve, and apply. And now the next one, the application. This is for workstations, right? So right click, copy, application with source files. Okay. Remember what we did. Go over here, notes, same thing. Mark Lasinovich, BG info wallpaper for workstations, 4.28 ENUS, source directory, workstations. Actually, the one below that, remember, because we have our BG info WS folder. Boom. This one's just going to be BG info workstation. Command line, same thing. W script to hide it. And what we're going to do, let me right click properties, go back here, do this, to workstations, copy that, apply. Okay, and what I'm going to do, just to make sure I'm not messing up on some of this, go to my deployment share applications. You can see my folders here now, and make sure everything is in the root of that folder. There we go. And here's one that isn't in the root, right? So we're going to cut. So I didn't do that one right. That's okay. Delete. We want that all in the root of the folder. That was my fault with the 7-zip one, because we only want it to talk to that file. Okay. So now I can delete those. It's just the way I have them laid out, right? The way I have the folders laid out. All right, so BG info is done. Both of those are there. My evaluate stig. If you guys have access to this, then it's good to have. But if you don't, no worries. It's just for getting your stig. What it does is it grabs the newest stigs and it checks your machine against it and gives you a configuration file that you can use checkboxes. And this makes sure your ISOs and ISMs a little bit happier, right? Because they just have to go through those files. I have two things here. I have the Nipper and intermediate root certificates. I grabbed this from a Secure House baseline. You probably won't have access to it. That's fine. If you do, you can just add those. And all this does is it puts the intermediate and root certificates for DoD into your image. Okay. So the first one I'm going to do, of course, just evaluate stig. Okay. So I'm going to go to notes, and you can remember, if you do have access, is the spork.navc.mil/nswc-crane-division/evaluate-stig. Okay, so we'll go here, and I'll say new application with source files and NSWC crane application name evaluate stig, because it's a PowerShell script, right? Version is 1.2204.0 en-us source directory. Make sure we go to the bottom one here. Okay. Next. We're just going to call this evaluate stig. Okay. Command line. Our hide bat. Next. There we go. Boom. At right click, properties. I'm going to lower this to just what it says, and then our short name there. Apply. Okay. Good. And now we can delete that one, and we're going to do our Nipper root certificates. Now this one, like I said, it came with a secure baseline, and the install is just like this. But we're not going to worry about that. We're going to use the hide bat, and just like we did with the other ones. So what I'll do is I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to create new application. Okay, and this one here, I'm just going to say DISA, and then I'm going to say Nipper root and intermediate certificates, and version I'm not worried about, ENUS, source directory, go here, DOD Nipper certs, next, DOD Nipper certs, command line is the W script we just copied, done, properties, and we can actually change this to, if we want, to DOD Nipper certificates. And that way our short name shows up just like that. There we go. A little bit shorter and still gets the job done, right? Okay, here we go with Chrome. So let's go grab Google Chrome, applications, Google Chrome, copy, paste. Okay. Have everything in its place and a place for everything, right? There we go. Okay, close this. Google Chrome. New application. Application with source files. Google LLC is who makes Google Chrome. Google Chrome. Version 103.0.5060.114. We just downloaded that news version today. We're good. Go down here to Chrome. Our short name is going to be Chrome. And our installation. Google Chrome standalone. Nope. That's not what we're going to use. Because remember, what we did is we had the hide bat, right? Because what did we do? We got rid of the desktop shortcut. Okay, so wscript.exe hidebat.vbs/b/no logo, just like that. Next. Okay, finish. Properties. Get rid of these all the way down to Google Chrome, and we just change this to Chrome, and boom, there's our Google Chrome. Delete. Go back to applications. Here comes our Office. Okay, I'm just going to copy just the Office 365 folder that we had. Okay, and that's going to be the same thing. It's going to be the wscript hide bat VBS, because we want to hide that that window, right? So we can say, we can go over here, I'm going to go to notes, and here's how we're going to do that. So we're going to say new application with source folders, and then publisher, of course, is Microsoft Corporation. Microsoft 365 for Enterprise 64-bit x64, which is 64-bit. Our version 16.0.15225.20288. English. Source directory Office 365. Next, we're just going to call this Office 365. Command line wscript.exe hidebat.vbs/b/no logo. Good. Next, take a moment because that's a fairly large install. Finish. Go right up here, properties. We're just going to call this Microsoft 365 for Enterprise. Get rid of the version number there. And this will be Office 365. Enter. And delete. And recycle bin. Okay. So now we'll get to NetBanner. See, we're getting there. I know this is a long process, but once you have it set up the first time, then everything falls together in place, and you're ready, and you can just add additional software when you need to, and you'll be good. This is also a hide bat VBS, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to say new application, okay, and Microsoft Corporation, Microsoft NetBanner, version 2.3.181, ENUS. Grab that, NetBanner. Just call this NetBanner. wscript.exe, hidebat.vbs, b, no logo. Okay, next. Right click, properties. Just call this NetBanner. Microsoft NetBanner. Just like that. NetBanner, okay, and boom, shut that down. Okay, we're going to go to Silverlight. So, deployment share, applications, Microsoft Silverlight, grab that, copy, paste, go over here, okay, and here we go. Say new application with source files, Microsoft Corporation, whoop, Microsoft Silverlight x64, version is 5.1.50918.0 ENUS. Remember, we got that from the Microsoft catalog. Silverlight, our command, Silverlight underscore x64.exe/q/no restart. Next. Right click, properties. We're just going to keep Microsoft Silverlight x64. Silverlight. Enter. There we go. Now, like I said, if you guys are getting bored and you want to go ahead and do all that, and you can skip me doing this. But I thought, I want to make sure you guys get this, and that it's as in-depth as I can be. Microsoft Teams, copy. I know some of this is tedious, but like I said, once you have it set up once, it's good to have, right? It's good to have everything ready and right the first time. So, Microsoft Corporation, Microsoft Teams, version is 1.5.0.12969, -US, browse, Teams. Next, we'll call our folder Teams, and our command line is right here. Remember, all user equals 1, not all users. We saw that in the Orca readout. So all user equals 1. Next, done, and then properties, Microsoft Teams, and Teams. Okay. So that was a good catch we got. All right. So Teams can be deleted there. We're at Firefox. Here we go. Now, I'm going to copy this to the desktop. There we go. We'll open up that. Notes. New application. Next. Mozilla. Application name. Mozilla Firefox x64. Version is 102.0.1. ENUS. Source directory, Firefox. And here's our command line. Remember we had desktop shortcut equals false, install maintenance server is false. So we're all set there. Next. Properties. Just like that. And Firefox. Okay. Close that. Delete that. Empty. And back over here to Notepad++. Copy, paste. Our notes. So go down here. New application. What do we got in there? Hold on. Okay. New application. There we go. Publisher is Notepad++ team. Application name Notepad++ x64. 8.4.3, which we got today. You saw that earlier, our unhappy user edition. Notepad PP command line. It's always a /S. Next and next. Finish. Now I can go to properties. We can go here. Delete that. Just keep the Notepad++ x64 pp. Enter. Okay. Now we can delete that. Empty recycle bin. And go back to applications. Now we get into Java. Okay. Good. Okay. Minimize this. Then we go here, new application, source files. So Oracle Corporation, Java SE, SE, runtime environment, x64. Version is 8.0.333.0.2. ENUS. Browse. Java SE. Same thing. Java SE. Command line. We showed you that one. Where disable the web analytics. Disable the auto update. Install silently. Next. Finish. Right click. Properties. Go here. And there we go. Java SE. And that is that. Okay. Empty. And the reason I keep doing that is because I want to save on space, right? So I don't want them to just sit there. All right, registry settings. So we're going to be doing 3 of these, right? So I'm going to just copy the main folders. That's Windows 10, Windows 11. And of course, you can put whatever changes you want to make in your registry keys. You don't even have to make any changes if you don't want to. It's something that I do. Okay. So we have those. Good. All right. And so I'll go here. I'll say new application with source files. And I don't have to worry about publisher. So registry settings server. ENUS. Browse. Go down here to reg serve. Just like that. And I believe I have the hide. Yeah. So I have the hide bat. Okay. So go over here. Whoop. I think I closed that. That's okay. Registry settings server. Just redo that. Reg serve. So wscript.exe. hidebat.bbs. B no logo. Next. SRV. Good. That one can be deleted. And we're going to hide these because we're only going to install them for their particular operating systems. Okay. So regserve there. Then this one's going to be Registry Settings. Why does it keep doing that? Sorry about that. Windows 10, ENUS, source directory, reg win10. Same thing, wscript.exe, no, or hide bat, VBS, B, no logo. Next, properties, reg win10, hide there, and then the last one, registry settings, Windows 11, reg win11, wscript.exe, hide bat, VBS, /b, /no logo. Next. Okay. Good. Go here. Reg win11. Hide this application. And good. So I'll show you what I meant by we're only going to install that for its operating system. So if I go to properties here and go under rules, you remember we set certain properties for certain operating systems. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to Application GUI ID. Okay. And I can actually set a mandatory application if I want to in this one. Or what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into our task sequences, which we'll set up, and I'll add those particular registry changes into the files. But if I wanted to do mandatory applications, I could actually say mandatory applications 001 equals, and I could paste that there, and it would only install, that would be a mandatory application for the Win10 Enterprise x64. Okay, or I could just say applications 001 equals, and then 002, 003. What that would do is that would check the box, but you could uncheck it. But mandatory applications makes it just that, mandatory. Okay, so we've got those three hidden. That's fine. Now we're going to get to our Scap compliance checker. So I'll go to this PC, go here, and I'm going to go to deployment share, applications, Scap compliance checker. Okay, remember I have my Stig workstation there as well, which I can use later on, but that'll be for Windows 10 and Windows 11. So I'm going to grab that, and then I'm going to go to my Stig workstation, paste. There we go. Okay, those two are there. So if I look in here under Scap, okay, just like that, I'm going to say new application with source files, NIWC Atlantic, Scap compliance checker, version is 5.5, ENUS, browse, SCC, next, SCC, and then our command line, which is what I showed you earlier, the /sp dash restart. Okay, there we go. Then I can go right up here to properties, Scap compliance checker, SCC, and OK. Too easy, right? Okay, and I can delete that one. Now this Stig workstation is going to be hidden, but it's going to be only for our Windows 10 and Windows 11 machines, and I'll show you how this is laid out in another video. But this allows me to stig the machine and a bunch of the software that goes onto it to 100%. And I also use the newest stig benchmarks so that it's completely up to date. So if we have a DISA inspection, then the inspectors will be happy because it'll come up as 100% for all of the software that they're looking to check, right? Okay, and this one is going to be high bat. Okay, so we'll just call this Stig workstation. Like I said, it's going to be hidden, so it's not even going to be. I'm not going to worry about a lot of the things on it. So Stig WS, and it's going to be a wscript.exe hide bat .vbs/b/no logo. Next, and I'm going to hide it and Stig WS just like that. Okay. Good. All right. So our SQL reporter. Remember we had that. Okay. So I think I have a window open still too, or maybe not. That's okay. Let's go back to deployment share applications and our SQL server reporter. Report viewer, just like that. Properties. Minimize so I don't keep doing that. Like that. Okay, and now we're going to say new application. Application with source files. Publisher, Microsoft Corporation. Microsoft Report Viewer 2012 Runtime. Version is 11.1.3452.0 ENUS. Browse. Report Viewer. Next. Report Viewer. Next. Our command line, because this is going to be installing a bunch of stuff, is also wscript.exe hidebat vbs/b no logo. Next, close this. Properties, just like that, and report viewer. Okay, we can close this, delete. Let's go back over here and applications. Our next one is Stig Viewer. So copy, paste. Notes. Real simple. New application with source files. Publisher is DISA. We'll just call this Stig Viewer. Version is 2.16 ENUS. Browse. Stig Viewer. Stig Viewer. Our install QN quiet. No restart. Just like that. Next. And we're good. Right click, properties. Oh, that's Stig Viewer, sorry. Stig Viewer, right click properties. I'm just going to call it Stig Viewer. There we go. And delete that puppy. All right, and here comes our sysinternals, applications, sysinternal suite, copy, paste. Give that a few moments because that's fairly large. It's got a lot of tools in there. I like to have this. You can take out individual tools like PS Exec and whatever you want to do and place them in certain machines. I like to have them available for the administrators if they need them. So, and you can also, if you only want the 64-bit versions, you can, grab those and get rid of the x86 versions. This is, of course, going to be a high bat. So, new application, Next, publisher is Mark Rusinovich. Application name, Windows Sys Internals, 05/11/2022, or just 05/11/2022 like that. ENUS, it doesn't like the slashes, so that's fine. Sys Internals, next. Oh, go back, sorry, I forgot an S, that's okay. wscript.exe, hidebat VBS /b/no logo. You know, you just want to make sure everything's right, and correct. That way, we don't have any hiccups. We might run into a hiccup. We'll do of course we'll do a first run of a install, our task sequence, and make sure all of the software installs, and once it does correctly, then we can deploy all of our operating systems. Will be a-okay, right? Okay, so that one, properties, we're going to go here, remove Mark's name, sorry Mark, and sys internals, just like that. All right, there we go. Empty that. Go back over here to applications. What's next? Visual Studio Code. Okay, so VS Code, my short name. Give that a second. New application with source files. Okay, and I know this is a Microsoft application, so say Microsoft Corporation. This is Microsoft Visual Studio Code 1.68.1 ENUS. Browse VS Code. Next, we'll just call this VS Code, and our install is there. Next, and boom, goes the dynamite. Properties to there, VS Code, and we're a-okay G.I. Joe. Remove that. Good. Let's go back over here to applications, WebEx. We're almost there. Copy the WebEx folder. And let's go to, this one's going to be a hidebat VBS as well. Okay, so, because remember, we're going to remove that that desktop shortcut that it likes to install. So Cisco Systems Inc. Application name WebEx. Version is 42.6.0.22645. ENUS. Browse WebEx. Which I'll call this WebEx. wscript.exe. hidebat.vbs /b/no logo. Next. There we go. Right click, properties, WebEx, and WebEx. Okay. I think we're one more for the normal applications, and then I'm going to get to those other applications that that we showed you in the beginning. So here's our Dod branding, and that is optional, of course, but this is going to be also a hidebat, right? So this will be hidden. So new application. I'll just call this Dod Branding, ENUS, source directory, Dod Brand, I'm just going to say wscript.exe, hidebat, VBS, logo, next, and Dod brand, and hide this application because we'll just put that in our in each of our deployment task sequences. That's what I like to do. Okay, so it looks like we're done with all of the normal applications that I would normally install, and we're going to get to a couple of the ones that I told you about here, the extras. So I'm going to open up this extras folder that I had. So the first one that we're going to do here, cancel that, sorry, is called Exclaimer Cloud Signature Update Agent. All right. And where you can download this from, this is very, very large, long URL. Okay. And this tells you where to get it. Okay. Right here. You can download it from here. MSI installer for Exclaimer Cloud Signature Update Agent. And when you download that, it gives you this file right here. And that's the newest version, okay, which is 1.17, 213.29.1. Okay. Now the prerequisites for this are Outlook. Okay. So we're going to have to make sure that our Office is installed first, then this. So what I'll like to do is, because this might go on all of our machines, what we'll do is we'll put it in the prerequisites for our exclaimer is that Office will be installed first, and I'll show you how that works. Okay, so then the second piece of extra software is Global Protect. Okay, and this is a VPN. Okay, copy this. Now there's no prereqs for that. That was from the other one. Okay, so updatestar.com/en, direct download, Global Protect 233, download there. Okay. Or if you have the Global Protect MSI from your own installation, the newest one, 5.29. Okay, that's that one. Then Revit and Autocad. Okay, these are both from Autodesk, and what you're going to do is there's an easy way to download all of these. So AutoCAD 2023 Silent Install, and there's an install guide here. So this is AutoCAD 2023, and you can get the direct downloads for these files. So silentinstallheadquarters.com. You can get the direct downloads of these two files here, the executables. It'll tell you how to set up the folder for where it's going to have its files. So to extract all the files that are in there into one folder, and then the silent install command is just setup.exe-q. And you can see I've downloaded the two files. I extracted them here, right? And that's how you do it. Well, I didn't extract them yet, but I'm going to show you how to do that, just like I did with Revit, right? So Revit, it downloaded to this folder here, okay? And I'm going to do the same thing with the AutoCAD real quick so that you see how to do it. So remember, he said, okay, now that you've got this here, we're going to go to the command, okay? And I'm going to copy his command from here, but I'm going to replace where it says C AutoCAD 2023 with the folder right here, okay? So I'm going to say open up as administrator, because that's what he says, right? He says run as administrator. So I've got one open. I'm going to type CMD so that I'm actually at the command prompt and not PowerShell. I'm going to paste that command. I'm going to go here like this. I'm going to right click, shift right click this folder, click copy as path, and I'm going to paste it. Okay, so I took his command, and now it's going to, when I press enter, you can see the Autodesk self extract is going to initialize, and it'll start extracting those two files to this folder, and I'll come back when that one's done. Okay, you can see how that's extracting there. So 700 800 megs of 3.99 gigs. So I'll let it go. Okay, and now that's all in the folder and all set. Okay, and in here it shows you that you can edit certain files like the package ACAD PS to make sure there's no desktop shortcut, things like that. And you can see where he shows you that. So things like the shortcut can be removed, and we'll get to that in a little bit. Okay, so we have both our Revit, which is the other one. Okay, and if you go here to silent, you can say Revit 2023 silent install as well, and the silent install also has the same thing. So there's 5 files you can download here directly from Autodesk, and you do the same thing. You just do this command, and I did that, and we've got our 64-bit installer there. And it's the same thing. Very, very simple command. Setup.exe/q, and that will quietly install it. We'll be removing the desktop shortcut as well through that package.rvt.xml file. We'll do that a little bit later, okay? And then SketchUp. So SketchUp Pro, you can get it directly from sketchup.com/sketchup/2021/SketchUpPro-MSI, and it will give you the SketchUp Pro MSI file. And you can see that there's only a few things that I saw in Orca, which is check for updates, product updates equals 0, and agree to the license equals yes. And so we're going to set those two, and that will be for that. Now, there is the add fonts. Now, I don't know if we'll be able to, I don't have any fonts that I need to check, but you can place this batch file into the folder with those TrueType fonts and the OpenType fonts, and then they should auto install when you run that batch file. Okay, so I'm going to close this. I'm going to add the rest of that software, like I said. While we're here, let's go and fix those desktop shortcut in both the, let's go to extras here, in the AutoCAD and the Revit, right? Because I don't want the desktop shortcut. You might want it. That's fine. So where are we at? This is the Revit one. Okay, so we'll go to Revit first. And we'll go in here. And where does it tell us to go? It tells us to go into the x64 RVT folder. RVT, and we're looking for a file called package.rvt.xml. I'm going to open that with Notepad, just like that. Okay, and it's going to say we're going to change. We want to add this parameter, and it looks like we do it right after transforms language code MST, all MST file. So we right after the MST is where we add that, right before file. So we look here, and I see that right here, right before file. Okay, do we do that after the okay, so we're going to do that in between right here. Okay, boom, just like that. Okay, so the quote goes after. All right, so that way I don't have a desktop shortcut for that one. And then I'm going to go to the next one, which is AutoCAD 2023. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing here. AutoCAD 2023 silent install. Go down here, and it says this one is in the x64 ENUS ACAD PS. So ENUS, ACAD PS, and there's that XML file we want. And same thing, we're going to look here, and it says install parameters. Let's look, folder, install params, ADK except EULA, and right after that, we'll say copy here, paste, and there we go. Save. Too easy, right? Okay, and the silent install command is setup.exe -q. Can't get much simpler than that. Okay, so let's go. And I didn't because these were asked of me, last minute. I don't think I named them, appropriately, and got all the information that I did for all the others. I'm not going to worry about add fonts, but you can probably do that yourself. I'm going to grab the exclaimer and the global protect for right now, just these two. Okay, and I'll do the other large ones here in a moment. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go, because like I said, I want to make sure that I name these right, and I think it's called the Global Protect. It's one word, Global Protect, and it's a VPN. Okay, so we'll call that Global Protect VPN. All right, so I'm just going to go here to Applications, New Folder, Global Protect VPN, just like that. Notes, I do have Palo Alto Networks makes that, so we'll go here, right click, new application, with source files, Palo Alto Networks, Global Protect, VPN, x64, I'll just call that. The version is 5.29, ENUS, source directory, Global Protect, OK, next, Global Protect, command line, just like that, next, and finish. We'll sort those into alphabetical order again like we did before. That way nobody's OCD kicks in. Like mine. Global Protect. Alright, got that. Close. And exclaimer. Okay, so here we go. New folder. Exclaimer. Cloud. Signature. Update. Agent. Oh, previous. No E on cloud, right? Next. That's okay. New application with source files. Publisher is Exclaimer Limited. Exclaimer Cloud. Signature Update Agent. Version 1.17.213.29.1 ENUS. And you get all that information from the MSI, and I'll show you that here in a moment. So, well, I'll do that right now so you know. If I click on Orca, like I said, from the Configuration Manager, and go to Desktop, Prereqs, my Extras folder, and go to Exclaimer, open that up, go to Properties, you can see, here's the product version. 1.17.213.29.1, product name, it contains a lot of information that you'll need, even the product code that you can use for repairs and things like that. Okay, so here we are, exclaimer, and our install is like this. Now remember, exclaimer requires Outlook. Okay, so I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. So when you click on here, let me properties, and I'm going to fix this exclaimer, and I'm going to go here to update agent. Okay, you see this dependencies tab. So I'm going to click on add, and I'm going to click Office 365 as a dependency and click OK. That way, Office 365 gets installed first, then exclaimer will get installed. Okay? Perfect. Because that's our prereq. Too easy, right? All right, so that one's done. And we'll delete that. Okay, let's go back over to here. We're going to do Sketchup. Copy. Paste. Okay, and I'm going to go to my notes. And as you can see, my notes weren't as good as I hoped they would be. So I'm going to go to sketchup.exe. Okay, and I'm going to go down here because I think the company is called Trimble. Yeah, there it is. Trimble Inc. Okay, so I'm going to go Trimble Inc. just to make sure that I'm getting all of this information correctly, right? So it's SketchUp Pro. And how do we do that? It's a capital U. See, I've never used this software, but we know that it's SketchUp Pro. It's right here. Okay. And what's our version? Well, I don't have it in there. So let's go open up Orca. So I'm going to go open, go back here to SketchUp Pro. I'm going to properties, and I'm going to go down to the bottom, and there's our product version. See? Real simple. So, because I've got that open here, I'm going to go 21.1.332.116. And it's actually SketchUp Pro 2021, and there's no space, it looks like. See, if you look at product name, SketchUp Pro 2021. So I'm going to actually change that so that I have that information in my notes, and I'll lay it out like I normally do. Everything else looks good. Okay. And we know it was all users has already been set, is check for product updates, 0. What else did I place in there? Agree to license. Agree to license by default is no. So I'm going to put a yes there. Okay. And now we'll go back here and we'll say new application, new folder, SketchUp Pro. Okay. Because we know it's one word now. And then new application, application with source files, publisher Trimble Inc., application name, SketchUp Pro 2021, version 21.332.116, ENUS for language, source directory, there we go, SketchUp Pro, and copy and paste our silent install command, and boom, just like that. Okay, and then we'll properties, copy this SketchUp Pro here so that I can do that, and then I'm just going to have SketchUp Pro 2021 as the name. Apply, and okay. Simple like that. Okay, I'm going to close this. Now, we're getting into the big ones. Okay, so AutoCAD, I'm going to copy this. It's very large from what I remember. Yeah, so you can see it was like 6 gigs, 7 gigs, roundabout. And I think Revit is even larger. I think it's something like 14 gigs, and that's fairly large, but that's okay. This saves you a lot of time having to do that, manual installs of software. And I hope this helps a lot of you out there. As you can see, that individual users will ask me, hey, how do I install this software? How do I get that working? And that's great, because I want to be able to help with whatever I can. And let me know. Let me know in the comments section. I'll keep this server the way it is, and I'll keep adding software as time goes on to show you how to do that. There's other software like MATLAB and things that require a bit of changes and configuration files and things. And then there's also manual installs that don't allow auto, and you can script those with things like AutoIt. And AutoIt will actually look like somebody's typing on your screen and moving the mouse, and I've used that to script installs as well. So I'm going to pause this and come back when that's done. All right. Okay, that's done copying, and when I look inside here, of course, there's a folder underneath. So we're going to use this AutoCAD 2023 folder that we downloaded the files to. So we'll say new applications, and this will be AutoCAD. You can also choose to name that Autodesk, AutoCAD if you want, but I'm going to just call it AutoCAD. New application with source files, of course. Publisher is Autodesk Inc. AutoCAD 2023. Build is 24.2.53.0 ENUS. Good. Source AutoCAD 2023. We're going to choose that bottom folder like I said. Next. This will be AutoCAD. Next. And our silent install command. Simple. I'm just going to put the setup exe in quotes /q. Next and next. And I'll come back when that's done copying. Okay, and that's done. We'll go over here to AutoCAD, and then Properties. Make sure that says AutoCAD 2023. We'll just call this AutoCAD. And boom. And we can delete that folder. Free up a bunch of space, which is good. And now we'll go back to our extras folder. And we're going to get to the big one, Revit. Let's actually go in here, because remember those 5 folders are still there. So let's go into grab this one, paste that, and then we'll copy our command, our notes that we had into our command file. We can open that one, okay? That way we're not wasting too much space on our machine. So give that a minute. As you can see, even the extracted files are fairly large. It's something like 14 gigs. So I'm going to pause that and I'll come back when it's done. Okay, looks like Revit has now copied to the hard drive, and all I need is our information. So here's our information, Revit 2023, sorry. So we'll go up here, new folder. We'll call this one Revit. Okay. Let me just see something here. Sorry about that. Okay. And we'll go here and we'll say new application. Application with source files. Autodesk Inc. Revit 2023. Version is 23.0.1.318 ENUS. Browse. There it is. Next, we'll just call this Revit like that. And our command line, again, is just setup.exe/q, lowercase. Next, next, and just let that copy, and I'll be back as soon as it is completely done. Okay, while that's doing that, what I did is I decided to download an EXO regular font. It's a open type font from 1001fonts.com, and I just downloaded that and I extracted the files inside the zip, which was here. So you can see with 7-zip, I extracted those here, and what I did is I placed them inside this folder. And what we're going to do is we're going to add that EXO font to our deployment just to test it, because I know that he had asked me to show him how to install those other fonts, right? So we can delete this. Actually, hold on one second. Sorry about that. We restore that. Let me see what I did here. Okay, and I believe I placed them in our extras folder here. So we'll go to extras, add fonts. There it is. So I placed those in there with the add fonts. I'm going to go to here, right click copy, paste. Actually, let me finish that first. Let me delete this because it's very large and it's already installed. Yes, and we'll delete that folder. Boom. And we'll create a new folder. We'll call this add open type fonts. Okay, next. Good. Go here to extras, add fonts, copy, paste that on my desktop. And this will also, because it's a batch file, I want to add my hide bat. So we can go to pretty much any of our, let's see, what did we add? We add one here. So I'm going to grab that hide bat VBS, go to my desktop, and paste that there, and rename this add fonts to install bat. Okay, just like that. Let's make sure there's no echoing in there. Okay, good, perfect. And make sure our hide bat says install.bat. Let's say install.bat, save, and we're good. And now what we'll do is we'll say new application with source files. We'll just call this add EXO font just for right now, because like I said, it's just to show off our adding of the open type fonts. Good. Browse, add fonts. Next, we'll just say add EXO font. W script, exe, hide bat VBS, B, no logo. Next, and properties, add EXO font, apply, close, and there we go. I think that's pretty much it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our deployment share. We're going to go to our control folder, grab our application groups XML, copy it, go to our cert folders like we did last time, override the file that's there, right click, run with PowerShell. We should get it on our desktop here in a moment. Okay, cut, override the one that's in our control folder again, paste. And now when we open up our deployment workbench, our software and our deployment shares should be in alphabetical order again. There we go. See, add open type fonts, Adobe AutoCAD. It's all there. Sketchup Pro's here. Everything's in alphabetical order, like we would like it. Global Protect. So, okay, everything's there. Now, on to our first deployment we're going to go to, let's see, our deployment share. Let's go to Windows 10 deploy, because I have this laid out a certain way. Okay, and I'll have that here on, actually I'll put it on this side so that my picture doesn't mess that up, so you can actually see this. Okay, and some of this we're going to be copying. Remember, we had our gather local, our showing our information, our set high performance, our driver groups we're going to do, because now we're on a deployment and not a capture. So we'll have our make and model. I showed you how to lay those out in the out-of-box drivers, where we had HP, Hewlett-Packard, and our drivers for those particular models. Remember, WMIC, computer system, get manufacturer, get make, and it shows you our model and shows you that, right? And then we're going to go through, remove our network prompt, set high performance mode, disable IPv version 6, our branding, our BG info. So we'll get to that here in a minute. We've already set our BitLocker, so that actually won't be needed. But then at the end, we'll set balanced power mode from high performance, because we're going to be putting these in production. And then we'll enable our BitLocker. It will auto encrypt our drive, and then maybe we'll stick our workstations. We'll figure that out here in a minute. So first things first, task sequence, clients. Okay, and remember what we're going to call these, right? So when I go to properties, okay, rules, the first one we're going to create. So I'm going to put this up here so you can remember, Win10 ent x64. Okay, so we'll go down here, client, new task sequence, Win10 ent x64, Windows 10, Enterprise 64, just like that. Okay, standard client task sequence, good. Select the WIM we captured on the 7th. Do not specify a product key. We're going to just say user, lab. Do not specify administrator account. Next, and boom. I must be hitting something. There it is. I know what I'm hitting. I'm hitting my my grim grinning ghost that I have on my desk. Okay. So I'm going to move this over here. Okay. Our task sequence, initialization, pre-install, install, post-install. And I'm going to go up to my capture share, because there's a few things in here that I copy, right? Which are our high performance mode and our display system information, things like that. So first things first, our display system information. I'm going to click on here. I'm going to click it and move it up one. Good. Display the host name. Paste. Set high performance mode. There we go. Down here, I'm going to go to our inject drivers, put nothing, apply patches, click nothing. And now underneath BitLocker here, I'm going to click add, general, run command line. Okay. And actually, sorry, no, I'm not. I'm going to click add, general, task sequence variable. And I'm going to call this set driver group. Okay. And it's going to be driver group 001, and this will be make backslash model, just like that. Okay, and that will automatically choose our make and model when our machines get deployed. Go down here to apply patches under post install, click nothing, and apply. Okay, so that's what we just set. There's those, apply nothing. Now in state restore. Okay, so we can minimize most of these. Boom, boom. And now we're in state restore. Okay, and remove the network prompt. Okay, which I believe, let me see if we, I'm not sure if we did that before. I don't think we did, but let's look just to make sure. Nope, we didn't. That's good. These are all set. Okay. So, I can close this. And now what we'll do, we'll underneath this. So right before our gather local only, I'm going to click add, run command line. I'm going to move that up one. I'm going to call this remove network prompt. I'm going to highlight this, copy, paste, options, continue on air, and apply. Okay, there you go. Now after gather local, we'll go back to here, set high performance mode. We can copy that. Right underneath gather local only, set the high performance mode again. Disable IPv version 6. Now remember we had these scripts that I placed in the custom folder. Remember disable IPv version 6? And I showed you those. It's just one line. Disable -net adapter binding /name quote asterisk /component ID MSTCP IPv6 and then private net set -net connection profile -network category private. And both of those disable IPv version 6 are PowerShell scripts. So the first one we're going to do is we're going to go here and we're going to say right underneath the set high performance mode, click add, general, and run PowerShell script. Continue on error. We're going to call this disable IPv6. We're going to say cscript.exe script root custom disable IPv6.ps1. Okay. Actually, we'll get rid of the quote because we don't need it. Okay. There you go. Apply. I'm going to actually copy this for right now because right underneath that, I'm going to say add PowerShell script, paste, but I'm going to replace that with private net.ps1, and I'm going to call this set network to private, which we're going to actually move. Sorry about that. We'll move this to down after evaluate stig. We'll do that, okay? But we can leave that in there for right now, okay? Because all we're going to do is move it. All right, so enable the RSAT tools, which we already did in our base image. We can do our BG info, right? So add general, install application, continue on error. It's going to be a single application. And remember, we did our BG info and they're hidden. Well, I'm going to do the BG info wallpaper text apply. And we'll just call this BG info. Install a BG info. Just like that. Apply. Okay. SHB branding. Same thing. So I'm going to say install application, single application, browse. We're going to look here. I believe we did, let's see, Windows branding, DoD branding. There we go. I'm just going to say DoD branding. Continue on error. Apply. There's that. Okay. And then after the opt-in to CEIP, our registry edits, which were for workstation. So install application, continue on error, single application, look for our registry edits, which was Windows 10. That's what we're on right now. Apply. We'll call this apply registry edits. Okay, just like that. sync the time with the server. You remember that from our capture task. So let's go into our capture task. Go down here. Where do we have that? We had sync the time with the server. So you can right click copy and paste. There we go. Simple. Sync the time with the server. And then we can set these to disabled just in case, because you'll be doing this every 3 months, maybe creating a baseline image. But you're just replacing the whim, so you don't have to really change the task sequences. But we're going to uncheck the disable for Windows pre and post update. That way it'll grab those any new updates from our WSS server. Okay, DoD Nipper certificates. So I'm going to do custom task, general, install application, continue on error, install single application, and then let's see, where do we have those? Right here. DoD Nipper certificates, apply, which call this DoD Nipper certificates. Good. I think I spelled that right. Certificates. Yep. Apply. Okay. Let's go back over here just to make sure that that one's hidden. Let's see, where did we put that? Sorry about that. I think it's under here. Number certificates. Yeah, we'll hide that. That way you don't have to check it. It'll auto install there. Okay, there's that. Start menu layout for Windows 10. Remember, we hid those. So install application, single application, and let's see, where did we place those in there? I thought we had. We might not have, but let's see. Wasn't. We might not have. Let me look. We talked about it, all right, in our deployment share, applications, and we went to, wasn't registry settings, wasn't branding. It was branding. It was under branding. Okay, so we just didn't add it, our Windows 10, and that's okay. We don't have to do that right now, but because we just added new applications as well, so we might want to put those into our start menu later on. Okay, so we'll not worry about the start menu layout just yet. So let's do this then. Okay, so we'll remove that install application. And what we'll do is we're going to click General, Run Command Line, and this is going to be hide the public ntuser.dat. I've noticed that when you edit the ntuser.dat file with scripts, sometimes it still shows up, even if you add the attribute in the script, it still shows up as not hidden. So I like to hide it, make sure it's hid at the end there. Okay. Evaluate Stig, which we're going to put in every image, so we'll hide that one as well. Okay, and what we'll do is we'll click install application, continue on error, install single application. We'll grab evaluate Stig, apply. Just like that, apply. Okay. Set our network to private. Remember, we put it up here, so I'm going to copy this, place it here, paste, then I'm going to remove the one up here. Okay, there we go. And then BitLocker has already been set in our capture task, I believe. Let me look. Verify. Trust but verify, right? So we go down here, and yep, I had already set it to 256, so we're good there. And now we're going to set the power to balanced mode, because that's usually how you want it in production, right? In a production environment. So close this, go back over here to our, grab this. I'm going to say add, run command line, set balance mode, copy that, and paste. And there's our balanced mode. Click apply, continue on error. Okay. Boom, set power mode. Now, under enable BitLocker, click on properties and check the box that says wait for BitLocker to complete the drive encryption process. Apply. Okay. And there's an after the apply local GPO package, we can stig it. And that's what I'm going to do. I believe we put it, where did we put that stig workstation? Was it in stig, or did we? Yeah, here it is. So we made that hidden. So we're going to stig the workstation as well. And I'll add that there, because that actually changes the name of the administrator as well as the guest account. So we do it as the last step. Okay. So let's see. There it is. Stig workstation. Apply. I'll just call this stig workstation and apply. And make sure that's good. Okay. Click OK. Okay. So now we've got a workstation with it. We can deploy with all of the software to test it as it goes out. So let's do this. All right. Right click, click update. We're going to completely generate the boot images. Okay. Because this is for our deployment share. And we'll click that. And this will take a while because remember, it's going to inject those WinPE drivers into the boot Wim. So I'm going to pause this and then come back, see how it says processing. So I'll come back and we'll inject, put that in the WDS. Okay, while we're doing that, so Rocky Rider 2022 says, awesome, thanks, buddy. This is going to solve a huge problem for me. Hugely appreciated. Yeah, he had asked me about this software, so I'm hoping that this will allow him to get his machines all out. So Revits and Autocad are the most important, is what he said. So we'll make sure that we can help him out, and we're almost there, getting the boot Wim all ready for our deployment, and then we'll deploy a machine with all of the software, the Windows 10 machine. Verify that everything gets installed with no windows showing, everything works. Once that's done, we'll create our Windows 11 machine by copying that template, and because they're literally going to be the same. Then we'll create our 2019 standard, and then we can copy that to 2022, and we'll be good. We'll be golden, because everything that needed to be done individually was done in the capture share, because the deployment shares 2019 standard, data center 2022, and 2020 our standard and 2022 data center literally will be the same deployment, and have the only differences will be the registry edits and the BG info between server and client. Okay, so I'll pause this and come back. As you can see, it's injecting those drivers, so we're on our way. Okay, the process is completed successfully. Click finished. Now we're going to go to our Windows deployment services here. Go to servers, boot images, and we're going to add our deploy task sequences. So browse, Click to deployment share. Boot. Light touch 64 Oem. Next. We're going to call this one deployment task sequences. Next. And you'll notice that it's a lot larger than the capture task sequence, simply because it's got all those drivers in it. Give that a few moments. I'll pause and come back as soon as that's done. Okay, finish. There we go. It's a little bit over a gig more. That's not a gig, a little bit less. So we're good. All right, so capture task sequences, deployment task sequences. We can click that. Okay, now we're going to say new virtual machine, custom, next. I'll install the operating system later. It's going to be Windows 10. We'll just call this Win 10 Ent x64. Good. We're going to click on Secure Boot, UEFI Secure Boot. Good. 2 is fine, 4096 megs, so 4 gigs of RAM. Create a new virtual disk. We're going to make this 100 gigs. Store as a single disk. Next. Next. Customize hardware. Remove that virtual printer. Network adapter. MDT lab. Close. Finish. Okay. We're going to move this into our MD pool. Right click, click settings. This is so that we can encrypt with BitLocker. You're going to click on options. We're going to click on access control. Click encrypt. Type our password. Click enter and it encrypted it. Click on hardware and now we can add a TPM module, trusted platform module. Okay, click finish and OK. And that way we can use BitLocker and it'll encrypt our drive. All right, so here we go. Give that a moment. It should come up soon. There it goes. And here we go. We choose deployment task sequences. Press enter. Okay. Perfect. And I'll come back when that's at our choices. Okay, here it comes. And it should just show our Windows 10. And like I said, we're just going to test Windows 10 first, make sure it's good, and then we'll create our Windows 11 and server machines. Okay. I just want to verify that this one deploys well. And we'll be all right. Okay, so there it is. Windows 10. Next. It'll ask us for a computer name. And because of the edits we did on our task sequences, it will do things per task sequence. Click next. Okay, and here's applications. And I'm going to select pretty much everything because we're going to test all of it. Okay. Microsoft Teams, Firefox, Notepad++, Java. Okay, so I'm looking in here, and as you can see, Autodesk, Inc., Revit, 2023. So that one there, we forgot to change the name. So we'll go in there and we'll change that name to be smaller. Okay, but everything else is good. So while I'm thinking about that, let's go back in there. So it's the Autodesk Revit, okay, or Revit, sorry. So let's go in here, go to our applications, and look for Revit. Right-click Properties, and that's all right. That's why we did this, right? So, and then we'll just call this Revit. Perfect. Okay. And we'll go back over to our Windows 10. So we've selected pretty much everything except for the BG info for servers because this is going to be a workstation. So that's all good there. Click Next, and away we go. We'll wait for our name, host name to show up. Boom, there it is. Okay, and we're gonna let this go through. I'll come back when it's installing software, and then we'll let it completely finish, and then I'll show you in the programs and features all of the software. We'll check that the fonts that we installed, XO font is there, along with other things. So I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so one other thing that we noticed, right? We had added the BG info into the deployment task sequence. So what we'll do is we'll hide those because that was also a selection that we saw when we did that. Okay, so no need to have that out there. And all of these were hidden, I believe. The registries, hidden, hidden, hidden. Good. Okay, but yeah, everything else is good. Um, and I'll come back when that's done. We're at 53% on the installing the operating system. Almost there. 93%. Okay, here we go. We're starting our install of software. So I'll come back when it's in the thick of things. All right, we're getting into the first goods. Adobe Acrobat BG info installed. We're on our way. Okay, this is why we do testing, right? So we didn't want this Adobe Acrobat Reader desktop icon. So what we're going to do is, when I looked here on Silent Install Headquarters, disable desktop shortcut equals 1. So I'm going to add that to our command here. And when we go to our Adobe Acrobat Reader details, at the end I'm going to add that. Disable desktop shortcut equals 1. And apply. And that way next time we install anything, that won't be installed. The desktop icon won't be there. Okay, it's installing AutoCAD 2023, and we'll be back in a little while. Alright, looks like AutoCAD installed, and now it's installing Office, so we're getting there, guys. No worries. So far, everything's gone off without a hitch. Silverlight, Google Chrome. It looks like all of the Office got installed. Let's see. I mean, yeah, everything looks like it's good. My, let's see, control panel here. Let's open up programs and features while Firefox is installing. Looks like Autodesk, AutoCAD's installed. 7-zip, install root. .NET cores, of course, from before. NetBanner's installed. Firefox just got installed. Notepad++ is installing. PowerShell 7. Let's see here. Let's go down here to, yeah, it's looking good. So let's let that do its thing. Java's getting installed. Let's see, Firefox just got installed. All coming along. Let me pause, and yeah, if I see any of the windows come up, I'll let you know, and I'll change those so that you can change it in yours. But so far, the only thing, like I said, that isn't what I wanted it to be is that Adobe Acrobat Reader icon, which we just removed from the command. So I'll just actually remove that, and then I'll let this go, and I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, Java just got installed, and Revit is installing now. There we go. Java, let me look at the control panel, see if the Java, there it is. Okay, so we're getting there. All right. Okay, so it did a restart, and of course our NetBanner loaded, our BG info loaded. It looks like our Revit is installing, but our Teams starts automatically with Windows, and we probably don't want that. And we can set it so that doesn't happen, and that's good. Let's go look. We'll say Teams auto start. Well, let's see if we can find. Um, there's always ways to do that. See, so you can look here. Let's see if there's a way to disable it in the registry. You can disable Teams auto start through the registry. To do it, remove the com.squirrel.teams.teams registry parameter from HKey current user. So it's current user. And process start. So we could actually do that for all users if we wanted to. And that might be something you'll want to do later on, and that's okay. We might do that later, but currently I'm just going to let it go through its thing, and we'll come back and this is all done. While that's installing, I'm just going to look here in our, see I have a right click control panel that I did with my different registry edits, but I just want to see how we're doing. So we got 7-zip, Adobe Reader, looks like AutoCAD, Revit, the Exclaimer Cloud Signature Update Agent, Google Chrome install root, Java Update 333, there's Microsoft 365, Edge, NetBanner, Silverlight, Teams, Visio, Visual C++ runtimes, Firefox, Notepad, Access. Everything looks like it's good. Install root there. There's Exclaimer. There's our Java. There's our Silverlight. Yeah, everything everything seems to be installing well. So happy, joy, joy. And we'll wait for the rest to install. Let me close that while Revit's installing, and I'll pause that again. Okay, so it looks like Autodesk installs a desktop app icon, so we'll probably remove that one as well. And here we go. Let's pause and continue. Okay, so this is good for our testing. So let's look at our monitoring. And what I noticed was there were 4 errors so far. And so I took the BDD log and I brought it onto my other machine, and I noticed that there were a few things that I needed to check out. And one of them, at first, I'm going through, and it looks like AutoCAD returned an unexpected error code 1603. So I looked that up, and what it turns out is that it requires that the 8.3 name creation be disabled, or I'm sorry, enabled, and then after disabled, after you install it, disabled. So we're going to do that. That's we're going to have a restart with that, so that's fine. We'll install AutoCAD before a system restart, which is good. So we figured that one out, and then there was let's go down here. It said Global Protect returned an unexpected return code of 1619. And when I looked at my Global Protect VPN, I had forgotten to put the 64.msi there. Because when I looked, what it said was that error code was it couldn't find the file, right? It couldn't find it. So let me go back here. 1603 was error code 1603. Windows installer find the package because I had forgotten to place that. And so let's go down here a little bit more. And I think there was a few more. So 1638, error code 1638. And this is why we do our testing, right? Another version of this program is already installed. And that actually is not really that bad because there's two versions you can have. You can have the regular version and then the work and school version, and that's fine. This right here is kind of like a false positive, and that's okay. So we're going to go down here, see if there's anything else. We go back up. There was one more that I saw. There it is. Unable to locate script. cscript.exe / see, notice how I put C script? It's not a C script. It was just a PowerShell script. So that was my fault. So we're going to go into the task sequence. We'll go down to where we have our disable IPv version 6, and we're going to remove C script because this is just a PowerShell. That's all that is. Okay. And then let me look at network to private. I think I did the same thing, right? So I put a C script. That hasn't got to that yet, but we're going to remove that C script part. And remember, it's just a PowerShell script. So private net.ps1 instead of have it, and this is run PowerShell script. I had accidentally put C script because I'm used to, having the VB scripts run, and that's okay. So that's why we do these, and then we go through and we check our log files. Application AutoCAD 2023, like I said, we're going to fix that. That'll be an easy fix. So what happens is we're going to add this NTFS disable 8.3 name creation, and at the end of our deployment we'll put a 0. Okay, that's fine. Global Protect, like I said, it needed a 64. Microsoft Teams. So we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep monitoring and seeing what happens. Refresh. We're at 5, so we'll find. Like I said, we're gonna find out what the error codes are. It will shut down on certain error codes. I noticed that, so that's okay. There we go. 31415.926. Boom. It's coming up. Refresh. Let's see how far along that is. 100% complete. So we had 5 total errors. So we're going to find out what those errors are. But our machine came up, and that's good. So let's go to our deployment share. Go to our logs folder. There's our logs. Now let's go into BDD log. And then remember, we had just changed that C script, and I think that's what it was. I think it was that C script that we changed. Because if we go up, we'll probably see that. That'll probably be the first error we see. Yeah, see, unable to locate script, C script, private net, PS1. And good. That's exactly what I thought it was. And so we fixed that one. We're going to fix, let's see. Okay, Microsoft Teams. Yeah, I'll look up 1638 for that, but I know that there's 2 versions you can install, so that's fine. Global Protect, we fixed that one. It was it was just the 64 that we were missing. AutoCAD, like I said, we're going to do the 8.3 name systems. When I looked it up, that's what it showed. So AutoCAD return 1603, fatal error. Looked that up, and then down here it says short file name creation is disabled on the target machine. Enable support for 8.3 name creation. Okay, And then it says at the end, the target machine should have short file name creation disabled. It can be disabled after the install completes by resetting to its original value and rebooting again. So we'll do that. We'll set it to 1, and then we'll set it to 0 at the end. Okay? And we'll go back up here, just looking through our logs. And like I said, this is why you do a test first, right? And we got rid of that C script for our disable IP version 6. And when you log into the machine, you'll notice. So I'll log in, administrator, or actually, let's see. What did I think I put it as barrisd.adm as my login name. Yeah, that's what I did. And you can see the DoD logo there, even though it's a ping that had a white background, that white shows through, which is great. Okay, so it's going to log in, and while it's logging in, I'm going to look through here a little bit more. Task sequence, this is not really a log, it's just because the word failure was in that, it just shows that up. And I think that was the last error. There's only 5 errors that we found in our task sequence. So we're good, and what I'll do is I'm going to delete these logs just like that, because we don't really need them. And let's see if our registry recovery key, yep, our recovery key is there like we wanted it to be for our and there we are. If we look up here, look, there's our style bundlers and everything. Our drive is BitLockered, as you can see, the nice lock on there. Okay, Sketchup. So Sketchup puts 3 icons, and so I don't like having icons on the desktop, so I let the users determine what icons they want on their desktop, right? So that's that. And so let's fix those errors. We fixed the C script error. We fixed the global protect error. Let me shut this down. And sorry, I'm thinking out loud here. I'll get rid of the recovery key as well. Okay. Shut that down. I'm going to delete it from the disk. Go back over here. And I think all the rest should be good. We can delete this audit log just for right now. Okay. Let's go back over here. Refresh. And we can delete that as well. Okay. That's in our monitoring. So let's go into our client. Task sequence, and let's look here. I'm going to go to my capture task so I can look at how we set our BitLocker, right? So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to move it over here just so that I can copy the way I did that on that one. And let's look at that. Let's look at that value. Okay. See if it's a D. I think it's a D word, but we'll make sure. HKey local machine, system, current control set, control, file system, and then this NTFS disable 8.3 name creation. Okay. So we're going to set this to 1 first, and then we're going to put it to a 0 afterwards. Alright? That's fine. So it is a D word, as we can see. So that's what we'll do. Okay? So let's look at this. Command. I'm going to actually put it, that's fine. C reg exe add HKey local machine system current control set control file system value. I'm going to copy this value right to here, copy, paste, type, reg, keyword, okay, we're going to put a 1 and force. Okay, that's the first one, and then the second one will be a disable of that. Okay, so now that I have that, I'm going to actually save this in my notes, okay, under prereqs. So I'm just going to call disable 8.3, just like that, okay? I'll go down to clients, and let's see here. So let's do, before, we'll set it right after the sync the time, and then we'll do a system restart, okay? So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to say add, run command line. I'm going to say disable 8.3 name creation. Apply. Continue on error. Okay. I'm going to say add, restart computer, and then copy. And down here, after let's just put it here after set power balance mode. We'll say to re-enable it. Okay. Re-enable 8.3 creation. That. Apply. There we go. Okay. Close that. That's good. Okay. And let's just validate that our global protect is good. We put global protect 64.msi. Our teams, right? So what we'll do for now, since this is giving us an error, I'm just going to hide this for right now. And we're going to go through. I'm going to do one more test, like I said. I won't bore you with it. I'll just deploy and see if any other errors come up, and then we'll create the rest of our task. Okay, I'll see you then. So I'm looking at this before I start that again. I was looking at this one more time. What I realized, it says an NTFS disable 8.3 name creation value of 0 enables the short file name creation functionality. A value of 1 disables this, and the target machine should have it disabled at the end. So we'll go back in here, and in our task sequence, I think I had it reversed, okay? Refresh, cut that. Oh, let's see what it did. Delete that, sorry about that. I must have dragged, that's okay. There we go. Refresh, double click, task sequence. Okay, so now we'll go in here, and it says a value of 0 first enables the short file name. So we need to, it says to enable it. Okay, so we enabled it with a 0, and then we re-enable it with a 1. That's what it was. Boom. Okay, perfect. So now we'll do our thing. All right. I realized that whole time I didn't have my headset on. I know you guys could hear me, but oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. So we're getting back into this, but I'm sure you saw what I did and all the error messages that we fixed. There were 5, and so now we're going to redeploy. Like I said, this is why we do testing, right? So while that's doing that, I'm going to create our second client. I'm going to let this do its thing. So I'm going to go here and say new, task sequence. And this one's going to be the Win 11 and x64, Windows 11 Enterprise x64, because I believe that our task sequence is fine. It's just the software. So standard client task sequence, Windows 11. Next, do not specify user, lab. Do not specify administrator password. Next, next. Okay, so now that we've got 110 and 111, let's go in here. We'll close this. We'll go here to deployment, deployment share, go to control, go to Windows 10, copy both of these files, go to Windows 11, paste both of those files, and now open up your deployment share one more time. Go to Windows 11, task sequence, go down to install operating system, and choose Windows 11. Just like that. Then click apply. Okay, and then we're going to go and look for our registry edits. And we're going to change these registry edits from Windows 10 to Windows 11. Click OK and apply. And that's pretty much it. That's the difference. Okay, those are good. Let's go over here to our new Windows 10 that's deploying. We're going to redeploy that, like I said, as a test and make sure it's good. Okay. I'll just leave the name the way it is. We're going to select all of our software, every last bit, and like I said, you can set these to auto check if you'd like, but for right now, I'm just going to click them all. Next, and away they go. Let's go back to MDT01. Okay, now we're going to create a server task sequence, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my prereqs. I have my deployment share, and I'm going to just click on my 2019 deploy. And the reason why is this is going to be the one I'm going to focus on as the template for the other three. Okay, so new task sequence, serve 2K19, right? Standard. Okay, Windows Server 2019 standard. Okay, just like that. Next, drop down. We're going to say standard server task sequence. Next, Server 2019 standard. Next, do not specify user, lab. Do not specify administrator password. Next. Boom. Okay. So now I'm going to take my Windows 10. I'm going to move it over here so that I can see it. And then I'm going to take my Windows Server 2019 standard that I just made. Move this task sequence. Okay, I'm going to go to initialization. I'm going to go to pre-install, install, post-install. Same thing here, just so I have everything that I normally would do, right? Okay, so while we have that, let's go up to the top, copy, paste, move that up, display host name, same thing, down, set high performance power mode. There we go. Okay, then we're going to go down here to enable BitLocker. We're going to set driver group 001, same thing, make and model. Okay, just like that. Drivers, nothing, because that's our driver group. Patches, nothing. And then we're going to look at post install, apply patches, nothing, apply. So that's we've done with this. Okay, now we're going to go and minimize these until we're at state restore, which is here. Do the same thing over here. so that we can see everything that we want to look at. Okay, there's State Restore. And then what we're going to do is we're going to, same thing, remove the network prompt, move that up, okay, set high performance power mode, right underneath gather local, paste, okay. We're going to set our audio service on. Remember how in all the servers we had to right click on sound and enable the audio service? Well, we're going to set it to auto, okay? So right underneath our high performance, we're going to go like this, run command. We're going to put scconfig audio serve start auto. Okay, I'm going to say set audio service to automatic, like that. And then right after that, I'm going to do another one, run command line. And I'm going to say start audio service. And this one we're just going to say net start audio serve. Okay. Apply. Continue on error. All right. So that's how that's going to work. Then we're going to disable our IP version 6 underneath that. Install our BG info, but for this one, we'll click on there, go to properties, and this one's going to be for BG info server. Then click apply. Okay, there's our server. Then we're going to go our Dod branding. Good. Apply registry edits. After this, click on that, browse, go to registry settings and change it to registry settings server. Apply. Good. We're going to enable our Windows Update. Apply. Okay. Underneath the registry edits, we're going to sync the time with the server. Disable 8.3. Now this is a server. We're probably not going to install those pieces of software, but that's okay. Just in case. Okay. And right before the Windows Update, we'll do a restart of the computer. Same thing. It'll install the applications. Okay. Disable Windows Admin pop-up, right? So I'm going to do that before this restart. All right. So that's what I'm going to call that. I'm going to go General, run command line, disable Windows Admin pop-up. I'm going to click Continue on error. Oh, sorry. Cut. Paste that here. And here's the command we're going to use. You can see that. Do not pop whack console at SM launch. Apply. Okay. We already applied a registry edits. We sync time with the server. And now we're going to go down here to custom task. Same thing. DoD nipper certs. Hide public NT user. Okay. Add evaluate stig. Set network to private. BitLocker's already set. The maps broker service. Okay. So run command line. We're going to say set maps broker service to on demand. You remember us doing that for our original server. So we're just doing that this way. Okay. Then set balanced power mode and re-enable our 8.3. Click on enable BitLocker properties. Wait for BitLocker. Click apply. And we're not worried about stigs on this. There we go. Click apply and OK. And now we're going to create the rest of our servers. We'll use that standard one as a template. Okay. So now we're going to say serve 2K19, and this one is going to be our DC. So Windows Server 2019 Data Center, just like that. Click on Standard Server Task Sequence again. Next. User, lab, do not specify. Next, next. Okay. And now I'll say new task sequence. Same thing. Serve 2K22 STD. Windows Server 2022 standard. Standard server task sequence. Next. Next. User lab. Do not specify. Next. And one more. Serve 2K22 DC. Windows Server 2022 Data Center. Standard server task sequence. Next. Next. User lab. Do not specify. Administrator account. And there we go. So now, close this. Open your deployment share to control. Go to the Server 2019 standard. Copy. Go to DC. Paste. Go to the DC of 2022. Paste. And go to the 2022 STD and paste. You'll notice it went from 32 to 61 kilobytes. So make sure they're all 61 kilobytes there. That's good. All right. And now we reopen this. And for each one that's not standard, we're going to have to go to task sequence, install operating system, and change it to whichever one. So this is 2019 Data Center, apply. Now 2022 Data Center, install operating system, and choose 2022 Data Center, apply, and then install and 2022 standard. Okay. And now all of our task sequences are complete. So while that's doing that, I'm actually going to deploy a server just because I feel like it. So we're going to do serve 2K19 standard. We'll do that one. Okay. And same thing, UEFI boot. We'll give it 4 gigs of RAM. NVMe. Store as a single disk. Customize hardware. Remove that virtual printer. MDT lab, close. Let's make sure our BitLocker is enabled. So we'll go here to options, access control, encrypt. Make sure we encrypt that with our password. Good. Hardware, add, trusted platform module, finish, okay. And we'll start up our server. Okay. Let's see how our Windows 10 machine is doing. Oh, it's at its first restart, which is good. Okay. So we can close that. Go over here. Deployment task sequences. Good. Okay. That's good. Okay. And I'll pause and when this is up. Okay, so here we go. Here's our 2019 standard. You can see they're all showing up now. Let's click on that one. Good. And we can leave the computer name what it is. Doesn't matter. Next, we'll just leave it there like that. Good. Since this is our server, we're not really worried about much. Maybe our global protect. Let's see. Do we need anything else on there? Net banner, yes. Okay. I'm going to have a Notepad++ on that one. Just in case. And 7-zip. Yeah. Just in case for other things. Scap compliance checker. Stig viewer. Microsoft report viewer. But everything else, I think we'll leave off of this since it'll be a server. And we'll see the host name show up here. There it is. Good. And Windows Server 2019 standard. Okay. So that's doing that. Disable our IP version 6. We got rid of that C script, so that should not have an error, which is good. We'll just look in here. Yeah, that one's at 0 errors, 0 warnings, and 0 errors, 0 warnings. Okay, so I'm glad we're setting that up. Apply registry edits. You can see the color changed really quickly, things like that. 8.3, it's restarting the computer. Good stuff. So now that we've removed all the errors, we should see 0 errors, 0 warnings, and we'll have both our Windows 10 and our Server 2019 deployed, and the rest of it is cake, whatever you want to do. So let me pause, and I'll come back when this is done. Okay, it looks like our server is installing its pre-application installation WSUS. Good. And our Windows 10 is installing AutoCAD, so we're on our way. Okay, it looks like our server's done. Let me check the logs, make sure everything's good there. Refresh. 100%. No errors, no warnings. Let's sign in. Actually, oh, that's right. We didn't change the the username on our servers, just on our workstations with the stigging. So, okay, good. Okay, our Stig viewer, Scap compliance checker, Notepad++, and 7-zip installed like we wanted them to. We can not worry about server manager there. Okay, there's our global protect. Perfect. Nice. Okay, so and yeah, everything looks good. Let's go to control panel, programs and features. Okay, 7-zip, global protect, install root, our runtimes, Edge, Net Banner, which shows the FPCon Alpha and CPCon 5, and everything else is installed. We're good. So the server operating systems, they all should work because they're literally just based on each other. So no worries there. As soon as that's done shutting down, I can kill that one. Manage, delete from disk, that's fine. Go back over to our MDT server, refresh. I'm going to delete that. We can go delete our recovery key for our server, which should be in here. Recovery keys, there it is. Delete. And let's look at our logs. And there's our logs for that server. So we can delete those as well. Empty recycle bin. Refresh. Let's see if there's any errors or warnings. Nothing so far. And we're still installing. So let's give that a little bit. Okay, so I want to remove the desktop icons as the software goes out. So you can see Autodesk, a desktop app, gets installed here with AutoCAD. So I'm going to change it from setup.exe/q to I'm going to add a install.bat, move that command, move this command to a tilde, %sign tilde dp0. That way I can put a batch file there that does this, and then we're going to do the hide bat. Okay, we'll do that, but I'm going to wait until everything's done because I know there were other icons, so we'll just keep waiting. So we know that AutoCAD is done installing, and that the only thing that showed up, so there's AutoCAD 2023. Perfect, no error there. Let's look, refresh on our monitoring. There we go. Click here. No errors, no warnings. So that's good. And yeah, we'll just, since it's done, I'll go and I will fix that in the MDT server. Okay. So let's go over here. Click new. I'll call this install bat, right? Because our hide bat is going to have the install.bat. Okay. And I'm going to copy these commands to there like this. Okay. Save that. Go over here to our AutoCAD. We're going to change this to wscript.exe, hide bat vbs, b, no logo. Okay. And then we're going to cut and paste these two into applications, AutoCAD, and paste there. And now we should, it will erase that desktop icon when it's done the next time it installs. So let's just keep going, and once Office is done and everything else, I know that Sketchup had icons as well, so we'll just wait until everything's done. All right. Oh, I noticed one little thing, just a spelling thing. Well, not really spelling, but it looked like where was it at? Was it Global Protect? No, disclaimer. I think, see where it says signature? I just need to make that a lowercase I. And actually, yeah, so what you'll have to do is you move it like this, and then you can move it and put the lowercase I. That's all I noticed was the I was uppercase. So let me look through there. Global Protect, Google Chrome, Microsoft 365, NetBanner. I'm just verifying now with spelling and things like that. You know, we want everything to be good in our environments, right? So make sure it's spelled right and looks good. Stick Viewer, Sysinternals, Visual Studio Code, WebEx, Windows Branding. Okay, I think we're still doing. Look at that. There's our Global Protect came up. Perfect. Google Chrome is installing. So looks like everything is coming together. Okay, and I'm going to pause that again and come back when everything's done. And again, I forget to put on my headset. Good thing it has a good microphone. I'm sure you guys heard me, but I just want to make sure everything is good. And I kept taking out my headset, but yeah, I was sitting right here. I'm sure you heard me. So if you didn't, let me know. But everything's coming up great. Global Protect, Google Chrome, it's on its way. So I'll pause and come back again later. Okay, so let's make sure that I was thinking about it, and I said, oh yeah, that's right. We need to put users public desktop on that one there for the Autodesk desktop access link. What was I thinking, right? So it's still going, but I just thought of that when I was here, and I thought, oh, okay. Yeah, so that's for our install bat for AutoCAD, and that should be good once it's all done. Our dogs are having fun. What are you two doing over there? What are you two doing? They're having fun. All right. So it's still going. Java's being installed, and I'll be back in a few minutes. Still going. It's at doing Revit now, and everything seems to be working well. I'm just waiting for those desktop icons so that I can add them to my removal scripts. But other than that, it seems like we're going really good. Let's go to our log. See if any, no errors, no warnings. So yeah, almost there. Okay, so it looks like SketchUp and WebEx and everything is installing right now. These three icons are what are these shortcuts that SketchUp installs are what we want to remove. So we're going to move the command from SketchUp to the top here. We're going to add the percentage tilde dp0 to the file name because it'll be in there, and then we're going to delete each one of these from the public desktop. Okay, and then we're going to add the hide bat. Okay, so we'll go here. We're going to go on the top here. We're going to say new text document install bat. Good. Right click, edit with notepad, paste that in there. Good. And then we'll go into deployment share, applications. I'm going to grab the hide bat from pretty much any of these, right? So copy, paste it here. There we go. Then I'm going to go to our SketchUp Pro, and I'm going to cut and paste this here. And then I'm going to go into the command for SketchUp Pro, and I'm going to just change it to our wscript exe hide bat bbs b no logo, and apply. And those three icons will be removed after it installs. So it'll be like this. Empty. Okay. Set network to private. I mean, it's almost at the end, so this is great. Enable BitLocker. So what I'm going to do, I noticed that Visual Studio Code looks like it starts up after it deploys for the first time. So let me look if there is a way to, remember I told you there were things we could do for our Visual Studio Code, and let's see if there is anything else. So Visual Studio Code silent install, and let's click on here. Let's go to silent HQ, installhq.com. See if there's anything about a first run. There it is. So there is one, and it's merge task equals no run code. Okay, so we're going to add that to the end here. Okay, and that will allow us to not start the software after it's done installing. So that was an easy fix. Okay, so let's go over here. Let's look at Visual Studio Code details, and we'll add that. Okay, I have that in my notes now. Saved. Merge task. Apply. So it's not, which is bang. Bang run code means not run code. So that way it doesn't start up. Okay. So that's good. Close that. Let's look over here. It looks like it's restarting. Okay, good. Let's go to MDT01. Let's go to our monitoring. Refresh. 100%. 0 errors, 0 warnings. And of course, the BitLocker code comes up, 314159226. That's why it shut down, because we didn't get to that BitLocker code in time. It automatically shuts down if you don't. I think I said that in my one of my first videos for this. That's fine. Okay, but if you look here, look, no errors, no warnings. All the software that we chose, which was all of it, is installed. Let's look at our recovery key. It's there. Good. Okay, let's see if our logs are there. Sorry. All of our logs are deposited there. Let's go to there. Okay. Now we're going to look. It's got our stigs installed. So BarrisD, ADM. We're going to log in. And then we'll check our, just to make sure all of our software that we wanted was installed. And then I'll upload this video and you guys can check it out tomorrow. I'll get this ready, and then I'll add it to the post here. Video 3.5. I'll add video 4 right underneath. And Rocky Rider, he says, I said AutoCAD requires 8.3 naming when installed. That was one of the things we learned. He said, cool, I'll go through the video tonight. Have you uploaded already? I don't see it yet on your channel. No, I'll probably take a few good hours to upload and process. Check back tomorrow. So that'll be good. This is loading for the first time. So, and I think I can just shut that down. And I'll shut down my DC as well. Shut down guest. And that way all of this comes up. Okay. You'll see BG info load. There it goes. We saw our global protect. It's loaded. Give it a few moments here to load up everything. Okay. Looks like everything's getting there. Let me go to control panel. And of course, it's going to try to load Teams, so we'll have to close that down in the background before it gets up. That's fine. Looks like Autodesk and everything is loading up. That's fine. Here's Teams. So end task and that's fine. Let's look up startup. So the Revit accelerator loaded. A few other things. Let's look at our programs and features. Just make sure everything is installed. There it goes. It's loading everything. Boom, boom, boom. Come on, keep. Okay, there it goes. So 7-zip, Adobe Reader, AutoCAD, Autodesktop Add, Revit 2023, the Exclaimer Cloud Signature Update Agent, Global Protect, Google Chrome, StallRoot, Java, Office 365, Edge, Silverlight, SQL Server Express, Mozilla Firefox, Notepad++, Personal Accelerator for Revit, PowerShell 7, Scap Compliance Checker, Sketchup Pro 2021, Teams, WebEx, Stig Viewer. Looks like everything is good. We are all fully loaded. Boom. Disclaimer. Nope. Sorry about that. Go down here. Java. There's Silverlight, Office, OneNote, Outlook, PowerPoint, Publisher, Scap Compliance Checker 5.5, SketchUp, and then our RSAT tools are all loaded. All of them. That's good. Everything looks to be kind of a base. Is good stuff. We got our Scap Compliance Checker. I'm gonna just run this because I'm curious. Let's look at our see if we got our BitLocker all enabled there on our drive, which is good. Okay, all good there. Right on. Let me see here. Okay, it's loading. Let me look at here at this minute. Tools. What did we have? So, can that be deleted? And if so, we can do that in our task sequence. So no worries there. We're letting everything load. Let me minimize that in the background. So what I can do is in the MDT task sequence, I'll move the stigging to just above everything else, and that should allow the minute folder to be deleted automatically if you move it up to the custom task area. So I've had that happen before. It's not a big deal. Okay, but yeah, no errors, no anything. We're good there. This is loading up. Let's select everything except for Server 2019 because we're on a Windows 10 machine. So Adobe Reader, Google Chrome, IE11, Mozilla Firefox, .NET Framework, Edge, Windows 10 Stig, Defender, and Firewall. Start a scan. And while that's doing that, I'm also going to go to where I put Evaluate Stig, which is here in the Public Documents folder. And what you'll do is I'm going to open up PowerShell 7 window there as administrator. Give that a few moments. There it is. ./E and PS1. It might ask us, for the execution policy the first time, and it might not. We'll see. Do 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 do. Jeopardy theme song playing in the background. This is, I can see 100% on some of those already. That'll do its thing. There it goes. Okay. I just want to see how good, how much of 100% we got. So we might even be at 100%. If there is anything missing, it's probably just the security certificates, because I don't think we ran the install route before we did anything, but that's okay. I did run it at the command line, and I think we may be good. If not, that's okay. We can install the security certificates manually if we need to, or we can just add them to our task sequence later on. So I'm just gonna do this, and then I'm gonna upload the video, and then you guys can ask questions in the Reddit thread or on YouTube, and we'll be good to go. Okay. So it says applicable stigs to process 12. This is still going. That's good. And I hope you learned something and you can use it in your work, and you can see our Dod branding there, which is good. You can click properties here, expand, and when we go down here, you can see DoD Secure Host Baseline, phone 1844 DISA Help. You can click Online Support, and it'll open it up. In the earlier versions of Windows 10, Windows 7, you would actually see the logo. There's my v10.nippernet for device specifications that we loaded in our registry, and of course our when you log out, I'll log out before we do this so you can see the DoD logo as well for our user account. So it's using, everything looks good. Everything is working fast, and that's not our account. This is our account. Yeah, it seems like everything is coming up Millhouse, right? So all of our software and everything's good. Still going. So we got, yep, our OneDrive, Autodesk Desktop app, security, and our, let's look at our WinVer just to see if we're up to date. So it's 1288. Let's look at our Windows 10 update history just to see what the newest one is. Usually it's like to Microsoft Patch Tuesday, right? So let's look at 21H2, which is what we're running. See 21H2 over here. And then we are on 1288. So where are we at? Version 21H2 1288. Did I set our, are we on 19044? We're on 19044. So we're actually, let's see here, where were we at? 19044. Yeah. I'll get to that later, I guess. Okay. So we'll get over here. Almost done. Come on, baby. 7 of 9. Star Trek. Almost there. Yeah, so I think everything should be at 100%. Windows 10 might be in the 98, 99 area. If it's at 100%, that's even better, but we'll see. So there's 100% for that one. We're at 8 of 9 right now. There's 100% for that one, and then this is the last one, I believe, for, this is the firewall. This is 100%, but let's look. Boom, done, view results. Look at that. Even better. 100% on all of our scans. All of them. So, happy days. Open in SEC. There it is. 100%. Boom. That's a good, that's a happy day for our isms and isos, I'll tell you. So, we'll go down here to our Stig Tools. There it is. And Stig Viewer. And we'll just look at all the green when it's done. I'll open up those files that it's setting up right now. Okay. Don't show again. Maximize. Just give this a few moments. It's almost at the end, I believe. That's the antivirus, firewall, and generating its summary report. There we go. And done. Okay, so it tells you results saved in C users, public, documents, state compliance, and there we go. So what we can do is we can go to checklist, open checklist file. We can go to C users, public, desktop, state compliance, the name of the computer, checklist, and we can click on the first one, shift click on the last one, click open, and we're just going to look at these for our own giggles, because we know our stuff is really good right now. So click on target data. Okay, so we're good there on our firewall. Great there on our Windows Defender. Okay, this is our Windows 10, and we know that there's no Cat 1s, but there's Cat 2. We'll go down here. The Cat 2 says the required legal notice. We know it's already there. For some reason, this comes up as a false positive because we know that it says, you know, you are accessing a U.S. government machine. We know that's working fine. This is the second one. What does it say? Something a user knows, something a user has, something a user is, you know, biometrics. So we'd have to set up our smart card, and we have our BitLocker keys. So save that. That's good. Here's our OneDrive, our Office, 100%, perfect. This is our Microsoft Edge. This is our Java. Here is our IE11. This is Firefox. This is our .NET, and what all this says is trust must be established prior to enabling loading remote code in .NET 4. We don't have any .NET Core, so we're good. Let's go over here. Software utilizing for must be identified. Yes, that's not a finding. So, and then we can just say save checklist. Good. This is Chrome, and as you can see, we're good there. This is Adobe Reader, and we're good there. So everything is good. The machine is completely stigged, and let me sign out just like this. And remember, if I press Control-Alt-Insert, there's our DoD notice and consent banner that I talked about. So it is loaded already. If I click OK, you'll see there's our DoD logo, and you can sign in just like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to click and shut down. And that is the end of the video. If you guys have questions, concerns, gripes, comments, let me know. I'm happy to answer any questions. And if there's any other software that you're having problems with, let me know. And you guys have a great night.